Hi guys, Andrea Mills here. It's time for me to go shopping for my monthly shopping trip tomorrow, and I am going to be getting some clothes for my family. So I want to talk to you guys today about my clothing inventory that I do and why I do that, and yeah, just talk about it a little bit. I used to buy clothes for the kids like for a long time, just once a month when I would go shopping. I would pick out like a new shirt for everybody, and so then I would get a new shirt, and when I got home I'd mark it and put it in the closet, and then get rid of an old shirt, like whatever the oldest one was in the closet. So they had like 12 shirts at a time on that system, and that worked totally fine, and I could probably still do it that way if I wanted to, but eventually it seemed like I just was always having somebody that needed something, and it was just like taking up a lot of time, I guess. Constantly like thinking, okay, somebody needs a new pair of shoes, and this kid needs a new belt, and you know, their pants are worn out, kind of a thing. So I decided to try to consolidate my shopping into one trip every 6 months to the best that I can. So that's when I came up with this idea of making a clothing inventory. So I actually have put this on my blog, so there'll be a link here in the description of this video of a blank one, so that if you want to try this yourself, you can print one out. And also part of that is one that is already filled out like I do it here, with everything that we need, so you can get a close-up look of what's actually on my inventory. But there is a column for each person, and then down the side I just listed everything that I felt like was enough clothes for us to do what we needed to do. So everyone has 2 pairs, like the boys all have 2 pairs of pants, and the girls have usually a denim skirt and a pair of jeans. And then we have 13 colors that we're wearing right now, so everyone has 13 shirts, and I have those listed here. The girls might have a dress, or they might have a shirt and a skirt, or whatever it is. Then I have our socks, underwear, everyone, actually I guess Eden has 2 belts. I don't wear belts, but everybody else does. Casual shoes. So usually we only have 1 pair of shoes at a time for the boys, so they have just like, some of the boys just like those slip-on kind of nicer looking shoes, not tennis shoes that lace up, but just loafer type things that don't have any laces. They really like those kind. Some of them just have tennis shoes, so I always ask them what style they want, and then that's what I get for them. So they just keep 1 pair of shoes at a time, but they never can last from one 6-month trip to the next. So usually at least one time in between I go and get everybody a new pair of shoes. So about every 3 months or so they get a new pair. For the girls, they usually have like a pair of sandals and a pair of tennis shoes to wear in the summertime, and then in the wintertime I usually have a pair of like dressier looking kind of boots, and then their tennis shoes, so that they have, because of their dresses, it just looks nicer when they're wearing a dress if they have something a little bit nicer to wear than a pair of tennis shoes. Everyone has a jacket, like a hoodie type thing, and then this is my winter list. So on my winter list we also have coats, snow pants, snow boots, hats, thick gloves like they would use to play outside, and then the kind of knit gloves that are just for keeping hands warm, like when we're going for a walk or something. And then clothes for Christmas, and the girls need tights and leggings, and then everyone needs pajamas. So that's what my list is here. And I used to think, I mean, before I became more organized, you know, like clothes was just like an ever-expanding thing. So if I liked something, I bought it and brought it home, put it in the closet. But eventually it becomes obvious that if I keep shopping like that, I'm never going to have room for everything, because as our family has grown, our closet space has not grown. So I had to like come up with a way to limit how much we had. So that's why I thought, let's think of this more like packing for a trip. And when I'm packing, I think about what I need and what activities we're going to do, and then I pack those clothes. So that's kind of how I shop now. I pack our closets for life, basically. And one of the reasons that we have kind of over time went to wearing mostly polo shirts for the boys is because they're just so versatile. So they can wear those every day. They're casual enough to wear every day, but dressy enough that if we need to go somewhere that's a little nicer, they look appropriate there too. So it keeps the amount of clothes to a minimum that we need to have, because they don't have to have one whole set of play clothes and a whole different set of dress up things. So, you know, everything that we have is pretty much appropriate for any setting. So that's why we have done that. My summer list has, like, this is fall and winter, so the spring and summer list has things like making sure everybody has swimsuits, and we switched to shorts, a pair of pants and a pair of shorts for the boys in the summer. I can't even think what else is different on the summer list. But okay, so then I'll go here to the top. Is I have pant size, shirt size, and shoe size, and I make sure that I write down everybody's sizes there. And for the shoe size, I don't know if you can see that, but I haven't actually filled that in yet because I still need to measure everybody's feet. So what I did was I printed out these charts. This one came from Payless's website. This one is from Famous Footwear. And both of these are, they work for like probably up through 5th grade, probably. You could measure their feet with either of these. But then for the bigger boys, I got this chart. I guess it doesn't say, so I'm not sure where I got this one. Anyways, it had to be printed on 2 pieces of paper and then taped together so that it could make a longer chart, so that it could do bigger feet than what could fit onto these other charts. So when it's time for me to go shopping, every 3 months I measure everybody's feet, and that way I know for sure what size of shoes that they need. And like I said, then I ask what style they want to get. And then I usually do the shopping by myself. Sometimes somebody goes with me, but it's a lot easier just to do it by myself. Lots of people think that we're very oppressive with how we dress our children, and they honestly don't care. That's why we do it this way. If someone actually cared and wanted to be involved or make a different choice, then we're nice people. We would let them. But it just really, we don't think that way. Like, I know a lot of people think in a way that fashion is very important to them, and expressing creativity through their clothes is very important to them. And if that's important to you, then by all means, you know, have at it. That's just not how we are. We don't think that way. It's much more functional to us, and so that's how we operate. So as you can see, I have been working on my chart so far. So what I do is I just literally go look in the closets. And a lot of this I don't even need to look, because I already know in my mind what needs to happen. But if I do not need it, this is what makes sense to me. If I don't need it, I put an X on it. If I do, then I circle the box, and then once I either put it on my in my shopping cart online or on my shopping list, then I'll mark it that I have purchased it. So I circle the things that I do need. Like, everybody's going to need some new pants, so I've circled all those things. I forgot to put gray shirts on the list, I realized, but we are all going to get new gray shirts, all the kids are, because the ones we have are getting kind of old and just not as nice and soft as they were. So we're going to get all new gray shirts. Everybody's going to get new shoes, new socks. Some of the kids need new underwear. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but the younger kids tend to get more things than the older kids, because I purposely buy sizes that will last a year or two. So some of Sophia's shirts are already in the 4 or 5 size, even though she's only 2, because there's not actually a lot of size difference in clothes. So depending on what style it is, sometimes I can get a lot bigger size and it will just work for a lot longer. Anyway, so that makes it so that I don't need to buy stuff as frequently. So what I'm going to do now, since I've mostly got this done, I still need to go through all of our winter clothes, and I will make sure that everybody's got a pair of snow pants and snow boots and all that. And then I will also check in the attic if there's something that we need in a different size. I will look in the attic to see what I've got up there and switch out anything that needs to be switched out with what we already have stored in the coat closet. And then if I don't have anything in the attic either, then it will go on my shopping list and I will go ahead and pick that up. I'm a frugal person, but I'm not like, money's not the only concern that I have when I'm shopping. So I usually buy all of our stuff at Walmart because they just always, that's what, for one thing, that's what we have here. So there's not like a lot of shopping choices nearby because we live in a not very populated place. So there's just not a lot of choices, but I like the prices. And I did try doing secondhand, but it seemed like a lot of work and I couldn't necessarily find everything I wanted, and the prices were not that much different than buying them from Walmart. So if I spent $4 on a used polo shirt at a secondhand store when I could get a new one for $5 at Walmart, and it just makes more sense to me to do it that way, especially because it's not going to be as worn out. The one at Walmart is going to last longer, and I can just walk in the store and get it and know that it's there. And when going to secondhand stores, I have to like keep hoping that I'm going to find the right color when I go in someplace. If we dress differently, if we were like people who, you know, like pretty much everyone else who just, you know, anything is an option, then of course secondhand shopping would probably be a lot more sensible, but that's just not how we are. So I buy, everybody always gets new stuff except for, like I said, we do hand down snow clothes and things like that. And I also keep dress clothes like button-up shirts and dress pants and things like that, and all the sizes up in the attic. So when we need to dress up for something, we have stuff to pick from, so that stuff kind of gets handed down in a way. I forgot to mention that when I used to shop just regularly, you know, every month for clothes, I don't like keep like a separate grocery fund and clothing fund and all that. It was just like, this is all spending money, and I would use some of that to buy the clothes. When I started going to doing it every 6 months, I wanted to make sure that it didn't like break us or be too much in 1 month. So at that point, I started setting aside $100 a month in our savings so that when it came time for that shopping day to happen, I would have a good chunk of money set aside for paying for clothes. So when I go shoe shopping earlier, I'll use some of that for the shoes. And then when I do this like clothes shopping trip, whatever is set aside will be added to my spending money for shopping. And if it doesn't actually cover all the clothes, that's fine. It's just that it's not going to be as big of an amount as it would be that I need to pay. You know, I wouldn't need to come up with as much at one time as I otherwise would have to. So it's inevitable that we're going to have to pay for clothes. So I just try to make it so that it's just part of our monthly budget rather than one time really big expenditure. So once everything's on my chart here, then I transfer it either to my shopping list, or I might just order online just to make sure that I can get all the sizes, because that's even easier than going to the store and doing it. So then I just buy everything, and then when I get it home, I mark everyone's clothes with their colors, and I'll try maybe to make a video about what that looks like. And then we get everything hung up in the closets, and everything that we are replacing, if it's good enough to donate, then we put it in the donation bag. If it is not, then I just throw it away. So the things like socks and underwear, I'm probably not going to donate. Sometimes the shirts are alright. If they have maybe a hole or something in them, then I don't donate them. And of course, we wear jeans out and shoes out until they're not donatable anymore. So those things just go right in the trash, and the new stuff gets hung up, and our closets stay manageable because it's not a never-ending shopping cycle where we're always just seeing cute things and bringing it home. The only way that actually happens is my mother-in-law and sometimes my sisters can't resist, and so they bring stuff home for the girls. So the girls always have more clothes than the boys, but I guess that works out because the girls only tiny bit care about their clothes. The boys don't care at all, so you know, they have a little bit more variety than the boys do, and we're all happy. So that is how I do my clothing inventory. And like I said at the beginning, if you would like to print out your own chart, or at least just see mine close up, you can go on my blog. There will be a link here, and you can print out your own and try this yourself. So I guess that's it, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.